SNY MLB insider Andy Martino reports that Brett Baty is returning to the Mets as they begin their series against the Diamondbacks tonight. Baty will presumably take Jesse Winker's place on the roster. Winker is expected to land on the injured list due to a right oblique injury. So, Harp, how do you think the Mets should utilize Baty moving forward?
Yeah, you know, they have a little bit more freedom now because that with Winker going on the IL, the DH spot is more open now. They might use Soto at there at times. I think they should use Vientos maybe there a little bit more and open up third base. You can use Baty there. You can use Acuna there. We'll talk about it a little bit more. And McNeil can flip-flop back and forth from the infield to the outfield. So there's more flexibility there. You know, Baty was showing signs just before he got sent down of maybe coming around, hitting the ball harder in the big league, so he needs to get at bats if he's going to be up here.
Yeah, Jose, Baty has been recalled 5 times in his career. Do you believe that this is who he has reached, or do you think this is the ceiling that he's reached? Do you think that at this point, this is just who he is, an up and down guy?
I don't want to say that's who he is, you know, like John said, I mean, he need a bat, you know, he need to get some more bat and see what he have. And I think before he went down, you know, it was some sign there that he was doing a lot better, you know, so but I don't know how many he been playing every day because Acuña doing so good right now, you know, and Viento is going to be the third base. But maybe DH spot for him, so I'll be there, and we see what we got. You know, I know for now it's going to be like an up and down for him if he don't turn it around on this time around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to say that he is who he is either here. I think there's still some potential there. I love the swing. I know he's 25 years old, and I know we're in such a prospect-heavy age now where everybody gets thrilled about guys as soon as they come up, but if you don't hit immediately when you get there, then it's like, you know, what does this guy, I don't know about him. You know, he may not have it. Brett Baty deserves a chance. There have been plenty of players, Jorge Posada, other guys like that who sort of bloomed, you know, in their later 20s, so that everything is still possible for Brett Baty. I mean, not everybody, Chelsea, in baseball is like this guy who came up the day before his 20th birthday and basically never went anywhere afterward, playing great the whole time. So development is not a straight line. And, you know, so what was that like for you coming up that young and then just, you know, head down, staying up there?
You know, it's hard, specific for him. Like, he been up and down 5 times. So, you know, it's a lot of pressure for him. I think when he come up, I feel like he try to do a little too much because he don't want to go down. And that's when you put pressure on yourself. You know, yes, whatever happens, you know, you go out there and have fun and see what you got.
Yeah, I think that pressure is getting to him just a bit.
It's hard not to.
Yeah,
it's hard not
absolutely,
to.
Especially playing in New York for sure. So that's just something that he has to work through. Let's switch gears to another infielder, and that's Luisangel Acuña. Jose, has Acuna shown you early enough this season that he is not only the starting second baseman for this team for the season, but of the future for the Mets as well?
Starting, what I see from him starting last year, I know he belongs in the big league to play every day. And what I see him doing this year so far, he need to be the second baseman every day, you know, and they need to find a place to McNeil to get some at-bat every day, center field, to maybe third base, DH. But Acuña, he need to be on the starting lineup every day because defense-wise, he's good, base running, unbelievable, and, you know, and he can hit too.
Yeah, I agree 100%, Jose. He needs to play as much as possible. And look, I mean, he can do, like you said, he can do everything. I mean, and he brings an element that, you know, there's not really a lot of on the Mets, which is the speed, the sort of daring do on the bases where he can be a little gutsy, you know, larceny in his soul type thing and make things happen on the bases. Look, he hasn't sort of come into his power yet this season. We saw some damage last year from him when he got a chance to play regularly when Lindor was hurt. He hasn't done that as much this year so far, but I think that's coming still too. So this is a player that they should be really high on, and they should really give a solid opportunity here. He should have the second base job.
Yeah, Anthony just mentioned it, Harp, but how valuable has Acuña's versatility been? He's played at third. He filled in at shortstop last season.
Yeah, I haven't seen him play the outfield. It'll be interesting to see how he could handle center field. But, you know, it really jumped out to me yesterday. That quickness at third base really stood out. You know, coming in on balls. He's got range there. You know, second second base is probably more a natural spot, but he can make a difference at third. I mean, he would have made that play that Vientos couldn't make. He could get Arenado, and that was a big play in the game. And I mean, the kid can fly. Just watch him run around the bases. I mean, you know, I had to ask Jose, who's faster, you in your prime or Acuna? And of course, he said, "Come on, me." And so I had to look it up. 131 career triples, 517 stolen bases. Yeah, I guess you could run a little bit.
I guess almost as fast as you, Harp. Right?
Almost. Well, let's not take that outside.
We'll have to bring the tape out.